So Panintelligence goes a lot further than most business intelligence applications. Not only does it allow users to build their own self-service charts, dashboards and reports, your users can also build their own machine learning models. And if you don't want to take it that far, you can build those machine learning models for them and allow them to consume the insights, predictive insights from those in the application. Let me just give you an example of how easy it is to build these machine learning models. So for most users, trying to work out why something is happening, in this example, why people are leaving an organisation, can be very difficult. We can build lots of different types of charts and reports, and nothing particularly stands out as a variable such as their age, the distance they're travelling from home, their daily rate, as a factor that really contributes to why people are leaving. So what we can do is allow them to build a decision tree. This is a linear regression model, and if I edit this model and show you how that's built up, what we do is work within the same design screen as we use for chart building. It is a licensed feature of the dashboard and is simply just another chart type for users. So in this case, we're building, in effect, a data table. The first thing we do is create an identifier. So an identifier essentially is the key that the objective is linked to. So we have, in this case, an objective which is attrition, and then we're adding lots of different characteristics that could be contributing to that. Now, we don't have to worry too much about adding as many characteristics as possible. In this case, we've got lots of different variables, and if I wish, I can start to add some more. So we might want to look at adding in things such as percentage salary hike. So let's add that in as another item, perhaps even performance rating. And when I add those two elements in, I can rebuild the model, and that will give me the opportunity to see if either of those characteristics have changed the outcome from the model itself. In this case, it hasn't. So what we'll do is go back to that model and just talk about how that is then used to do predictive insights. So in this example here, it is already giving the users some clear indications visually of the characteristics which may be significant in the outcome, which in this case is staff leaving. We can see on the right-hand branch here, we've got different widths of the branches. The larger the width of the branch, the greater the volume of data, and the colour coding is really to help users to identify those areas that maybe they should focus their attention on. Looking down the right-hand side of this branch, we can see actually that overtime workers who've worked with us for less than 8 years, who are single and live more than 6.5 miles away, churn at 89%, which sounds particularly high, but it's only 21 employees, and actually a domain expert or a user in the organisation may look at that and say, well, actually, these are our part-time casual workers, and we expect a high churn rate. If you look down the left branch where the volume of data is going, where the majority of the employees are not working overtime, we see a particular statistic here where we've got 88 staff who are churning at 33%. They've been working with us for less than 2.5 years. In fact, if you continue to build this model out, what this data set shows is that it's the graduates within the organisation that after 2.5 years, a pay rise and a change in job role move on. And actually these are our high value workers. These are people in the organisation which actually we want to retain. So giving domain experts, people at the front line, the ability to build and interpret these models can really help them to work out why things are happening. But if we don't want to give them that responsibility, what we can do is build these models, save them for the user, and allow them to behave like a scorecard. So going back into the design screen here, you'll notice that we've saved a number of different models, and we can use those models like objects. So as we apply those to new data, and new data comes into the application, it will basically determine whether or not that, in this case, employee is most likely to leave, applying those rules based on this scorecard. And that to the end user can be simply presented as a list. Those people at risk, and it could apply to any data that you have, whether that's transactions, people, whatever entity you're covering. They can build multiple models very simply, and it's simply looking at the data within the underlying metadata layer that you're using both for dashboarding and reporting. So really simple machine learning models that can be built, interpreted, edited and controlled by your users. Thank you for listening to this video. There's lots of other elements to why Panintelligence is different. Please try our software free. Valuation licenses are available, and contact us to find out how you can be starting to give your customers self-service insights tomorrow.